Morning and welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine. Well, give me a few minutes because remember I stated that we're going to start, and don't hold me to this every single day, but right now we're going to start brewing our coffee in while we're actually live. And so it's brewing right now and can't wait to sip it. I did decide today to go back to my hazelnut brew. I was missing it. So I put the mushroom aside for a moment. But you know what? Here on Morning Brew, we're gonna be actually testing out some new coffee brews, new blends from maybe some partner companies that we're looking at right now. And I'm just excited. I'm excited about the journey and where we're going. Well, I want to talk, as people are chiming in. I'll give people a few minutes. If you are connecting with us for a coffee break today or morning brew, let me know you're in the comments. I know we have a lot of people that like to drink their beverages on the sideline and don't want to let anyone know that they're watching, but that's okay. You know what? Continue to watch. And however you want to show up, I'm good with that. So, but if you're here and you want to just let me know what you're drinking today, that's good. That's fine. We welcome it. We welcome you being a part of the conversation. So today is going to be a teachable moment brew. Okay, so today's brew is you're the main character, act like it. All right. Now, this was inspired. This message, I said, let me get a little more into this. I wanted to elaborate a little more on it because I was inspired by a comment that I received on yesterday from a short that I shared from the conversation that we had yesterday, right? so, uh, what I'm going to do, because I am working through some things in my studio, so I'm going to actually share the comment, the short that I shared, and then I'm going to share the comment and my response, and then what happened after that, right? So give me a second. Let me pull this up. I want to pull this up so you'll have an opportunity. Well, actually, hold on one second. I'm going to pull it up after my coffee because more people will be chimed in, right? So my coffee is almost done. And I have my little creamer, my hazelnut creamer that I'm going to add to it. And we'll go from there. But hey, let me know what you're drinking today. I'm interested in knowing what you're drinking so I can switch it up sometime because you don't have to be a coffee drinker to join me on a coffee break. No, you don't. You could be drinking your tea. You can have water, you can have juice, you can have even a smoothie you decided to make today. If you're in any type of, lifestyle change updates, or maybe it's just your everyday thing to have a smoothie for breakfast. Maybe you already had it because it is 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. I don't know, but whatever you're drinking, let me know. Hold on. Let me just grab this real quick. Okay. Mhm. All right. Bear with me. And the thing is, I already put some sweetener in it. Let me get that going. Um, So I am really, I said you can get comments from people because, we talked about this in a previous coffee break on a previous morning brew. Everybody has an opinion, and you know the saying everybody has an opinion, like they have you figure out the rest, right? So, but with that being said, when I read this message, you can always interpret things different ways, but I said, let me use this as a teachable moment. One, to be able to really share because with the person that actually sent the comment, because sometimes everybody's in different places in their lives, mentally, physically, emotionally. Everybody's at a different stage in their life. So people may internalize and read things differently based on where they are, right? All right. So with that, let me take a sip of my hazelnut. That's good. That's hot too. Okay. All right. So let me get into this. And so I'm going to play the actual short that I actually shared on, I think it was maybe it was 2 days ago. Eh, it was 2 days ago. And I think it was from, I don't know. I got so many shorts, but here. I'll tell you what this short is called. So if you want to go visit on my YouTube page, Morning Brew with Germaine, this short that I actually shared that sparked this comment was hold on. Okay, so this short is "You Are the Star, Embrace the Leading Role." So thank you for your comment once again, because it is allowing me to really use it as a teachable moment to elaborate on it even more. All right, so let's play it. Okay, hold on. You are nobody. In your story, you are not the supporting cast member. You're not. You're not the extra being hired for a day. You're not. You are the leading role in your life. Always remember that. You'll start looking at things a little differently. So you are nobody. Okay, so that was the clip, and believe it or not, that clip is really resonating. It's almost at 1,000 views, and it's still growing. People are leaving comments, so I welcome it. I welcome it. Okay, so now what I want to do is just share what the comment was that they made. And I'm not saying it was a bad comment. I'm not saying that at all, but let me pull it up on the screen for you. So the comment said, "Ma'am, we are not playing parts in a movie or show. We are living the lives God had blessed us with. We make choices that affect our outcomes, and the endings of our lives are determined by our choices." That was the viewer's comment. And so this was my response. Thank you for sharing your perspective. The movie metaphor was just to show that we're the main character in our story. God gives us the blessing of life, and our choices write the script day by day, right? So I looked at this and I said, you know what? I have to remember we are all at different places in our life, different walks in our life, and it's okay to hear what people have to say, right? And so I decided to say, you know what, let me make it a teachable moment and let me elaborate even more on this, because someone else posted a comment that said there are others trying to play the lead in our story all the time. So people see things differently. So, what I want to do, let me get into the message today. You're the main character. Act like it. All right. So, in a world that's full of distractions, as we all know, bombarded by all this information on social media, on our YouTube channels, it's just a lot of content on this highway, right? It's easy to start living on autopilot. It is. Letting circumstances or other people's expectations direct our story. And if we're not careful, that's what happens, right? And so, but what if you saw your life like a movie? We like to watch movies. You know, we get so involved in the characters. I'm gonna be honest. I've been hooked on Love Island. Yes, Love Island season 7. There's so much going on, and if you look online, there's so many commentaries and stuff going on. And I said I'm not jumping in that game. But there's a lot of things about it that we find parts of ourselves in it, or we look to comment on how we feel someone should move about and act about and all that stuff. So we put ourselves in other people's stories. We do. So now, what if you saw your life as a movie? I'm going to really get into this because I want to unpack this, because based on the comment that we have, that our lives are not movies or stories. Well, you know what? In our life is a culmination of events, um, activities, ups, downs. As we travel along this journey in life, it's formulating a story. And that's why in one of our morning brews, we talk about the power of your story and how people can be inspired, influenced by your story. They can be encouraged by your story. So And then it could be some negative things that can impact people from your story. So, really, our lives, it is a metaphor. It is a story, the journey of our lives. And thank God for his presence. Now, I don't know where you stand, but me, I am a believer. And thank God, I do thank God for my story, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is. I thank God because he's allowed me over the course of time through this life's journey to be able to cultivate this story, which is my life. And I want to get into, let me get more into this so we can really start unfolding this. And I hope the person that left the comment, because they did delete it after I sent the response, I wish they would have left it, but I hope the person, I did invite them to come on for a coffee break. I hope they come on, or I hope they are watching to maybe they'll have a different perspective of this. Maybe not. It's okay. All right. So let me get into this. So, once again, you're not the extra, you're not the understudy. You are the lead in your story, in your movie. So, this brew is your cue to stop living passively and start walking with purpose. So, in this segment, we call pour into purpose. So, I'm going to touch base on like three different areas in this pour into purpose. So, let's start pouring, right? Every life has a script, but you get to shape the scenes. Remember, this is your movie. God may have written the promise, but you choose how to walk it out. And like they mentioned in their comment, the choices. God gives us the power of choice. I'm going to focus on that in another brew, probably next week, right? But he does give us the power of choice. So, so let's look at this. Like any great film, your story includes plot twists, supporting characters, and moments of intent of moments of tension, but you're still the one holding the mic. Remember, you're still the lead, even if you bring supporting cast members around you. Okay. You don't have to know the whole script to show up and own the scene you're in. Now, he's never going to unfold our full story to us, not while we're still living on this journey. That's what it means to be on a journey. You're discovering things along the way, right? So, all right. So now let's get into this. So we're going to pour a little more and we're going to talk about intentional choices, create purposeful outcomes. So the best movies don't just happen, they're crafted. And so is your legacy. Whether you're in a season of building, healing, waiting, or launching, make choices today that align with the ending you desire for your movie, for your story. Once again, it goes back to choices. So that's why I said, even I welcome the comments. You know, we have a voice, we have a platform, free speech. I welcome the comments. I thank you for even watching and wanting to leave a comment. So, there's some things that you did talk about choices. We do have the power of choice. Now it's up to you, the desired ending of your movie that you want to see. So when you see your life as a story, you stop letting fear write the next chapter. Now, fear is a big thing that a lot of people deal with, including me. A lot of people deal with trying to overcome fear to take their next step, or allowing fear to just stop you in your tracks, cripple you, whereas you're stuck. It feels like you're in quicksand and you can't move from the place that you're in because you've allowed fear to start writing your next chapter in your movie, your story. All right, so let's keep pouring, right? So, God cast you for this life. Yes, you. God cast you for this life. Now step into it fully. So when you start looking at your life a little differently, look at your life as a movie that you are crafting, you're writing. Don't so when we allow others to write it for us, you're bound to get anything. You're getting their vision for how they see your life. But I want you to focus on your vision for how you see your life, how you want to craft this masterpiece story of your life. And that means use everything that you have collected along the journey for your masterpiece, for your story, for the movie that you can then premiere to the world. So, once again, God has cast you for this life. Excuse me. Now step into it fully. This isn't about pretending or performing at all. Mm-mm. It's not about that. Even though I'm using this metaphor, right? It's not about that. It's about owning the divine role you have been given. Walking like it matters, speak like it matters, live like it matters, because it does. Don't play small in a story God's called you to be the lead in. Hold on. Just let that steep a little. Let it just brew a little longer. Because a lot of times we don't look at our lives like he sees us at all. So maybe we should start looking at our life as a movie. We like a great movie. So remember, it's about you owning the divine role you've been given, not anyone else. Don't pass that on to someone else so they can take ownership over what he's given you. Own it. You're the lead. It's been designed for you, no one else, you. So please, if you're looking to pattern after someone else's leading role in their life story, it's not going to work for you because that's not what's designed for you. Okay, so let me move on because I love to leave reflections for you, two questions for you to reflect on. These are the questions I want you to reflect on. Like I said, you can reflect on them throughout your day, or you can reflect on them just over time. Just water them and just, hey, you never know. So, if your life were a movie, would you be proud of how you're showing up in these scenes? If your life was a movie, would you be proud of how you're showing up? Think about your life, no one else's. Think about your life. Are you proud of how you're showing up in these scenes of your life? That's the first reflection I want you to think about. And here's the second one. Okay. What would shift if you took the lead role in your purpose starting today? Think about it. These are just reflection questions. You can answer if you want, or hey, you can water them, come back to them, but really think about those questions. Do you want me to give them to you again? I know they feel like they're loaded questions to really challenge you and make you think about some things about your own movie, your own leading role. So, if you were a movie, would you be proud of how you're showing up in these scenes? And that means journey back through your life. How are you interacting? How are people seeing your movie play out? Are you proud of that? That's a question for you. I have to do reflections myself. Trust me, when I leave reflection questions for you, I'm also answering the questions for myself. I'm not absent from this. It starts with me. I'm the first partaker of it. I'm the one that's sharing it with you. So, the second question, what should shift? What would shift if you took the lead role in your purpose starting today? All right. So, we're here at the final sip, and I need one. As I'm taking this final sip, you see, this is an empty mug, right? You may be someone that want to sponsor a segment and have your logo, your brand logo, show up on these mugs. Or you may be someone that say, wait a minute, I don't need to send in a sticker for that. I have my own mugs. I would love for you to use on Morning Brew. You know what? Send it in. I'll leave information also how you can connect with us. Okay. So you could do just that if you want us to begin to start sharing your brand on Morning Brew. So, all right. Let me get back to this. So, in our final sip, and I hope, like I said, I am going to look at comments, people's comments, and I am going to turn them into teachable moments because I can learn from you and hopefully you can learn something from me. All right. So, in our final sip, you were never meant to just exist. You were created to lead, to grow, to impact, to live. So, fix your crown. Fix your crown. Center your soul and step into the scene like you belong there. Guess what? You do. So, you know how we do. We sip slow, take direction, and live this thing on purpose. So, once again, as I bring this morning brew to a close, once again, I want you to live with intention, courage, and divine direction because God created you to be the lead of your life, your story. And with that, I hope like I said, hey, maybe they listened, maybe they didn't. It doesn't matter. For me, it was a teachable moment. I hope you learned something from it, and you never know. But once again, stay connected in the description. Make sure you join Morning Brew with Germaine. And from there, we will begin to move forward on this journey. And tomorrow is, guess what? Authors Brew Friday. So on Authors Brew Friday, we are actually bringing a guest in studio that's going to spill the tea on their story. And guess what? I know I've been talking to you about Mixed Blend Wednesdays. We have our first guest. You got to stay tuned. They're chiming in next Wednesday for the first official Mixed Blend Wednesday. And I am so excited to have them as a guest. So, once again, stay connected. Go to our YouTube page and make sure you chime in. And I just want to give a shout out. Hello, Horace Jones, for chiming in on Instagram. It's good to have you in the community today. And hey, guys, once again, make sure you leave your comments. Make sure that you let me know if anything is resonating with you. I love to hear back from you. So, once again, make sure you go join Morning Brew with Germaine on our YouTube channel. And so we can begin to continue to build this community. Guess what? The numbers are growing till sponsors are chiming in. I love it. I would love to share their brands on Morning Brew. So, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for Authors Brew Friday. Have a great day. Be safe out there. And remember, you are the main character. So act like it. Have a great day.